It's a different press conference this year, but we are very happy that you have joined us uh, from India. And I hope all you guys are safe back home as well. Please do take care. Uh, so, without wasting any time, we would just like to go ahead with the proceedings.
Yeah,
Mahel.
so the first question is for me from Kaushik. Question reads, your squad features some real talented players like Bolt, Bumrah, McClanagan. Given the long break followed by training camps in UAE, how do you see them in terms of being match ready? I think it's a very relevant question. A lot of the guys have trained even in their countries, you know, so the workload wise, they're okay. Just the match preparation was the key. So we designed most of our training sessions accordingly so that they are put under pressure. The match simulation, match situations are created. So a lot of the guys have been training for the last 2 weeks in that, and we've had a couple of practice games as well. So everyone looks very sharp, but looking forward to the 19th game. That's when the real thing starts.
The second question is from Faisal. Rohit, how has been the biobubble experience? Does staying in a closed environment with a limited group of people affect your team mentally? Yeah, see, it's a like we all know, it's a different, it's going to be a different IPL. We were mentally prepared for something like this. We had a lot of talks around it. Even before we came here, we had all the boys on conference call, and we were discussing how we need to be disciplined if there is any sort of bio bubble that has been created. And finally, now that we are here, we know the restrictions and making sure that we follow all the protocols that has been set by IPL, Mumbai Indians, and the BCCI. Mentally, see, I think it is tough, but hats off to the Mumbai Indians team management, the entire support staff. They have done an excellent job here in our hotel. They've created some amazing space around us in the hotel where we can just relax, chill, spend some time with the family, kids, all of that. So mentally, you are fresh, you are not drained, and you are not tired at the same time as well. We've been here for almost 3 weeks now, and all of us seems to be in good spirit because the space we've created here. So I think hats off and a lot of credit goes to the team management who have done a fantastic job. And now it's all about preparation, like Mahela said. It's all about preparation and getting into that game phase mode. For me, from Omkar, how challenging it is to get used to the conditions and pitches in UAE. Also, how do you deal with an added pressure of being the defending champions? See, the second part of the question, yes, of course, it's pressure, but we've all dealt with it before. We have won the IPL and we have come back and we've played some good cricket. Again, the challenge for us will be to adapt to these conditions here, which probably none of us are used to because not a lot of cricketers from our group have played here, only few. But it's important to share that information, and we have clearly spoken about that how important it is. People who have been here, played some cricket, to share that information with the guys who have not played. So it's going to be the communication is going to be key here to make sure that we are not left with anything behind. I think mentally it's about just going out there, understanding what the pitch is doing, and based on that, you need to plan your game, whether it's your batting or your bowling. So I think we've had a good chat around the group about that. We played, like Myla said, we played a couple of practice matches here, and we understood what we need to expect going out there in the middle. So yeah, the plannings are happening around that. The pitches are going to play a critical part here, and reading the pitches from our side will be very important, and giving that information to the team will be very critical as well.
Next question for me from Vivek. For a team that's highly regarded as the best on paper, there are still any concerns that you will need to address? Well, I think one thing is best on paper, but at the same time, the other thing is going out and executing and keep pushing yourself. I think that's something that we all spoke about every day. We have some highly skillful, highly talented cricketers, but end of the day, it's how you perform on the day against our opposition. Like Rose said, we need to get used to the conditions. It's different. The heat factor is different here as well, and it's normal IPL surrounding. So there are a lot of challenges facing the team. I'm sure it's for the other teams as well, but we've spoken about it. We'll make sure that everyone gets into that phase pretty quickly and control the controllables. I think that's the most important thing. So yes, having a great unit is always beneficial. They just keep pushing. The guys have been working really, really hard the last 2, 3 weeks to get used to the conditions, getting themselves conditioned as well. So it's a good challenge. Having a great squad is always good, but at the same time, we all understand it's a new season and we have to start fresh from ball one and execute. So that's a challenge that we all have.
The next is from Harit. Uh, he's asking, MI didn't have a great time last time in IPL when it was played in UAE, the first half. Will the past performance sort of have any bearing this time? I think we have only two or three guys from that squad, so I'm not too fussed about it. Yes, we didn't have a great experience, but again, the team is completely different now, and the thought process and everything is completely different from what it was way back in 2014. It's 6 years, we are going back 6 years, so it's a lot of time. I think we did pretty well after we came back from Dubai to India. But see, again, like I said in my previous answer, understanding the pitches here, understanding the conditions here will be very, very crucial. And we are giving a lot of thought and emphasis on that because eventually, the pitches here are going to play a big part. And to understand that and adapt quickly and play to your potential and to play according to what has been asked of is very, very crucial here. So I think the past performance will certainly not play any part this time around because, like I said, it's only two or three guys from that squad. Myself, Pollard, and maybe Bumrah. Bumrah played only one game that year. Uh, Besides both of us, none of these guys who are part now were part of that 2014 squad. So the team is different, the staff is different, the thought process is different. So we're looking for a great IPL this time around as well, and we want to put out a good performance, and we want to start well. So the focus and the idea and the thought process is really on that.
The next one for me from Amol. Can you spell out the challenges of planning for two IPLs in 6 months? Well, I think we haven't thought that far ahead. To be honest, I think for us the first challenge is this IPL. Um, the preparation has been good. We had to wait for a bit longer than usual. So try and focus on this IPL. I think that's number one priority. And once that is over, the process to plan for the next one will start, um, and so on and so forth. So we're not thinking that far ahead. It's just about getting the guys ready for this one. It's a great challenge for us, and looking forward to that.
The next one is from Indraneel. My question to how vital it is not to have Malinga in the team. Whom do you look for filling his boots? I mean, it's for anyone, it's hard to fill his boot. We all know that. What he has done over the years for MI and for his national team, Sri Lanka, it's been remarkable. And I don't think it's so easy to just come and fill his boots. He's been a match winner for Mumbai. Uh, you know, I've said it many times. Whenever we've sort of find ourselves in trouble, Malinga was the one to bail us out from that. Uh, Obviously, his experience will be missed. What he did with MI is unbelievable. So I mean, unfortunate that he's not part of the team this year. We've got guys like Nathan Coulter, Pattinson, Dhaval Kulkarni, Mohsin, and these are the names that we are looking to replace Malinga with. But obviously, like what Malinga did for Mumbai, like I said, it's not comparable. You just have to leave someone like him aside and not look for replacement. It's important that the guys who are coming in, taking his position in the playing 11, comes in the squad without any pressure, without any baggage. They just need to come here and get settled in the team and start doing what the team is expecting to. With here in Mumbai, we make it very very clear for the players what their roles are and what we expect from them. It's not too complicated. So of course, we have a certain standard, and I hope that everyone lives up to that standard. That is what the culture at MI is. For me, again, Rohit, you've batted at number three and in the middle order previously for MI. Where do you see batting this time? Don't you think your best use will be at the top? I think I opened the entire tournament last year, and I will continue to do that. Again, I keep all the options open, whatever the team wants. Happy to do that. I enjoy batting top of the order. I've been doing it for a while, so I enjoy that. But I don't. Even when I play for India, the message from my side to the management has always been the same, that do not close any doors, keep all the options open, and I'll do the same here as well.
Question for me. Chris Lynn has been added to the squad for this year's edition of the tournament. Will he open the batting with Rohit, or Decock continue to come out on the top? Well, I think having options is always great. I mean, Lynn is a great addition to the squad, but the combination of Rowe and Quinton has been phenomenal for us last season. They complement each other really well. It's been very consistent, and both are very well experienced cricketers. Both are good leaders as well. So I think why would you break something if it's not broke? Fix something if it's not broken. So I think we'll continue to go with that. But having Linney as an option gives us flexibility in the squad. So that's what we've always done over the last years. We try and add more value to the team, more options, so that we can be a bit more unpredictable when it comes to tournaments and different matches. So that's where it stands. But definitely, I think Quinton and Rowe as a combination has been brilliant for us. Again, for me, are you happy with the batsman's rhythm in training after long break? Yes, I think the guys who was in Mumbai, the squad members had training. We had some really good practices. Zahir and rest of the guys who were in Mumbai, organized some really good training sessions for them prior to arriving in UAE. So most of the Indian boys have been in very, very good condition when it comes to batting wise. They had enough time in the middle. What we only had to do was to make sure that we stimulate some match situations and get them into that mode, because no one has played any competitive cricket. Some of the overseas players did not have that opportunity, so we made sure that they go into nets and do some extra work, and now they all look in very very good rhythm. So having had our last practice match a few days back, I'm very satisfied with where everyone is, and now it's about us mentally getting ready for that first game, and for the tournament. I'm not so worried about the skill levels of the individuals. Next question for me. Over the years, the Pandya brothers have been an integral part of my squad. This year, Hardik is coming from an injury layoff. How is he looking in the nets, and how do you rate him as a finisher? Well, yeah, I think both the players have been fantastic for MI over the last 3 or 4 years, which they've been involved. Brings a lot of energy to the group. Hardik's coming from an injury, so we have to be mindful of that. But he's looking very good in the nets. Both of them are. As a finisher, I think we've used him in a different roles in the past, and we'll look to do that. We have quite a few other players who fits into that role as well. So whenever the opportunity is there, we ask anyone to finish the game off. It doesn't just purely falls on Hardik, but if he's there, it's one of his responsibilities. So we want to try and challenge players in different ways in this camp. So we'll continue to do that. Another one for me, there were few concerns earlier about easing Bumrah into full tilt bowling after months of lockdown. How did you all work out the plan for him, and are you happy with how ready he is for the IPL? Yes, I think Booms has been training really hard during the quarantine period because of Indian commitments as well. He's gone through a lot of workouts. He's had a lot of bowling done back home as well, trying to keep up with the load because following the IPL, it'll probably be a test series for the Indian boys. So we will try and maintain that for Boom, but for the IPL, he's definitely ready. He looks quite sharp. So, Bumrah being a very professional, I think he's looked after himself really, really well during that quarantine period, and he's quite eager to go out and perform. Uh, Another question for me: pitches in UAE are expected to favor the spinners, so how important will be Krunal Pandya looking at his experience of playing in the IPL? Yeah, I think generally pitchers will help most of the spinners, and Krunal is going to be a big part of that. I think Rahul Chahar, Jayant, who signed up a new youngster, Balwant as well. So and Anupur who we've had. So all our spinners are in contention, and everyone's got that responsibility. But um, you just have to do the basics. I think that's the most important thing. There's no added pressure on the spinners. They just have to go out and execute certain plans. But definitely they'll be more effective in these conditions and looking forward to that. And we are very confident about the group of bowlers that we have.
The next question for me, there has been a lot of talk about wickets tiring during this tournament. That the hot weather could aid spinners more than usual. Your thoughts on this, and how do you think MI can cope up with this? I think yeah, we all know because of the conditions, because the weather here is so hot and humid, the wickets will tire down. Uh, Having played Asia Cup a couple of years back here, we certainly I certainly experienced that the first game that we played and the finals that we played, there was a lot of difference between how the pitch was behaving. So we certainly expect here the same. It's going to be a long tournament. We know how many matches being played at each venue, so the wickets will definitely tire down, and the slowness of the pitch will be a big factor. And for us, like I said at the start, all the talks that has been happening in our group has been based on all of that. We need to understand and we need to adapt how to play cricket on those kind of pitches, what lengths to bowl, which shots to pick, what will be the percentage shot, what will be the percentage ball. It's not just the spinners, but I think even the seamers will have a lot of assistance, not the swing, not the seam movement, but there will be some reverse swing that we are expecting that will happen. And we've got some quality in our bowling lineup as well who can explore that. So yes, I mean the way I look at it, we've got good balance, we've got good variety in our bowling attack. Uh, so we can use it depending on the condition, depending on the opposition we are playing, we can use them. And same goes for the batting as well. You need to understand the shots that will give you runs on this pitch. It's just not about coming and hitting boundaries and sixes. It's also about the other option that you can take to make sure that you reach to a effective score towards the end. So yeah, all that will happen. The focus and the talks will happen around that. Which spinner do you like in your team? I'm the captain. I have to like everyone. there's no special mention about any individual. It's a team game. We all have to contribute, and I'm looking forward to the same from the spin department. All these guys who we have, Kunal, Rahul. We've got a youngster in the auction this year, Prince Balwant Rai. I mean, he looks quite exciting. There are a few options. Anukul has been part of the team for a while now. We've got some quality spin in our group. Yeah, hopefully, they can explore the conditions if need be. And, all these guys have experience playing domestic cricket in India. Uh, I hope they can, use their experience to come out here and, do the same for Mumbai Indians as well. How are the young colts of the side gearing up for the season? How have you approached them considering the tournament is happening overseas? I mean, see, they're doing pretty well. We had a small little camp before we came here in Mumbai. Uh, there was some time to see these younger players who I haven't seen, and I saw great potential in them, most of them. And obviously, they are quite keen to get on the park, and perform and take the challenge and take the responsibility. I think it's a good sign for our team that all these younger players they want to take up and own the responsibility. It's a good sign. And from my side, it's just about giving them confidence, making sure that they're in that comfortable space. They are not overawed by the occasion. It's just another game that they'll be playing if they're playing. All those things are very important from my perspective, and we will do everything we can to make sure that they have all this comfortable space. They are in good zone to come out and perform and take the ownership.
Um, this is for me, with players being away from home for such a long time, how do you plan to keep them motivated and free from mental health issues through this IPL? Well, I think it's a very important question. I think a lot of them probably will be away even after the IPL as well with commitment. So we've uh, planned different things. One is that Ro mentioned earlier in one of his questions was to create an environment within the hotel so that everyone's been looked after. Most of the players are traveling with their families, so that's good so that they are spending some quality time with them. And the rest of the guys are all trying to keep them occupied and with different activities. It's not just cricket oriented. It's other things as well. So yeah, I mean it is a challenge, but we're looking at all aspects and making sure that it's not just cricket, but it's about creating a very good environment around the group so that they can focus and enjoy the job in hand.
Some teams are traveling without families, but MI have their support system with them in UAE. How important was this decision to travel with families, especially since the pandemic situation? Yeah, I think I can't talk for the other teams, but we can only control what is happening here, and we decided it'll be nice to have family around. Uh, Players have been given the option of having the family around. Now it depends on what the player wants. Um, at times like this, you always want your family to be, uh, uh, you know, families to be around you. It's important for me. It was important to have them around, just to be sure of, with me mentally everything is fine. I'm not worrying about them when they're back home. When obviously they are around in here, it's always nice to make sure, always nice to have them around and make sure that okay, you're not in two thoughts when they're back home. So it's nice. I mean, most of the families are here. Some families will be joining us once the tournament starts. So it's nice. It's like a one big family for us here, and we can make the use of this wonderful place here as well. This
This is for me. Sorry. Despite the enormous protection of a bio bubble, there is always the worry that someone may test positive. How difficult does it make a coach's job to plan in such situation with matches coming thick and fast? Well, yes, I mean, the pandemic is such, it's very difficult sometimes to control, but we're trying to control everything that we can. And along the way, we have planned, just in case if someone gets positive or if there's a small cluster of players, because of, close proximity, they might get isolated from the main group. So we've planned for all that. I mean, when you're planning to go through the tournament, you need to do that. So one thing that we've done is that even in the group that when we are doing certain events or guys spending time together, we've asked everyone to take maximum precautions, not to take anything lightly, even though we are in a bio bubble, because like the question says, there's always might be that chance that one person might get that picked up, so that everyone else is not exposed all the time. So we try and take all precautions and plan for everything. So that's what the management team's always doing, fallback plans. So we'll continue to do that, but hopefully everyone's disciplined and hopefully that we go through the season without any issues.
the next one is IPL is kickstarting sports for India. Uh, how do you see it bringing positivity and hope for all sportsmen? I think yes, it's a very important thing for us as role models to make sure that we uh, send the right message across to the country, to the people of India and the world. To make sure that whatever we do, I mean, we need to be making sure that we are following the discipline, we are sending the right message across, we are maintaining social distancing and things like that. Uh, I we do understand how important it is, how important sports is in India, uh, and for us to kickstart it gives us great amount of pleasure as well. I know that the whole of India is waiting for the IPL to start, and we know how it is in April and May when IPL is around the corner. It's like a festival in India, so obviously people are looking forward to this wonderful tournament, and we all want to do the same. We all want to bring some quality action to y'all, and making sure that at the same time we are sending the messages across as well, telling the people of India to be safe and follow the protocols till this situation gets completely resolved. We can't take anything for granted, and we are doing the same here. We are making sure that all the necessary protocols and discipline has been followed, and we would expect the same for the people, not just in India but around the world, to do the same. Till this situation gets under control, we need to be very careful. We need to be mindful of what we do, and once we do that, once the things are back to normal, then obviously it'll be a great thing for us. We all want to walk outside in the park without without thinking about anything. So for us to do that, to do that, it starts from now. I mean, we need to make sure that all those things are followed and all those things have been taken care of in a manner that we all expect to.
So that's about it. We've answered all the questions. Hopefully, we get another opportunity to answer questions during the tournament. Just wanted to thank all our fans back home in Mumbai and around the world. Just wanted to say that stay safe, take care of yourselves, and it's important that we all follow the guidelines and make sure that everyone else is safe as well. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, guys.